Itt vagyunk Berlinben a 2015-ös IFA kiállításon az LG kommunikációs igazgatójával, az olvasóink által jól ismert Ken Honggal. Hi Ken, how are you?
Chaba, good to see you, as always.
Thank you. First question, the tough one. I have a G4 in my pocket. It's Joel's phone. He's been using it for like 2 months, and it's really so it doesn't look like it should be. Any comment on it?
Did you let your dog chew on this?
Yeah.
No?
Did you? Sorry.
Your dog
No.
chewing on this? Okay. Well then, it
was my pocket.
well then it looks like you have one of the earlier models, which we ran into some issues with the coating. So the leather itself is fine. You know, the leather wears, and it's supposed to wear, right? Leather looks great when it's worn, but the coating process on the earlier brown version, the brown leather, seemed to be a little bit weaker than we had expected. So, we will replace any that are not due to excessive use or excessive mishandling. But for something like this, it's not a big issue because we haven't seen this problem in any other colors. It just seems to be isolated to the brown and the corners. But yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity where we have fixed it. I mean, the process has been improved since the early batch was issued. So we think this problem has actually been resolved.
So if someone has this problem in Hungary, it's under warranty and they get a new back?
If it's excessive, I would check with customer service and see if they feel that it is outside ordinary use. And yeah, I mean, for us, more important to keep the G4 customer happy than to quibble about an early leather case. So that's our philosophy is let's take a look at it and see if it's due to it being an early version or due to excessive use.
Okay, cool. Let's talk a few words about your new devices. You have a keyboard introduced here in IFA.
Yes, on the mobile side, we're kind of taking a break at IFA. We're going to actually wait until after IFA to make some big announcements, and I mean big. But timing-wise, IFA, we brought some accessories to this show, some wireless audio products, the Rolly keyboard, the Urban Lux, as well as the G-Pad 2 10.1. So we do have some items, but the major smartphone announcements are going to be happening soon after IFA.
If we're talking about tablets, you have quite some tablets on market right now, but not a really high-end one. What's the future of the LG's tablets?
Well, we think pricing in tablets is very important, and so even though there may be a market for really high-end tablets, if it doesn't hit the sweet spot when it comes to price, it's probably not going to be a success. So we're looking at the tablet from a perspective of what do people want and what are they willing to pay for? It's the very price-sensitive product. And if it's too high, then obviously, even though it may be the greatest tablet in the world, nobody's going to buy it. And so we're very, cognizant of the fact that we have to be very balanced in our thinking about the tablet industry. It's not going to be it's not going to have the same kind of growth as smartphones, but we think it is an area that we want to be involved in for the long term.
Okay, and any plans on making waterproof tablets or waterproof phones? I mean, some of your competitions did, but they are not doing it right now. Others do it right now. What do you think about waterproofness for a phone or tablet?
Well, all of the LG phones that we sell in Japan are waterproof. Again, it depends on the market. Do I think it's a global trend? No, I do not. I don't think people drop their phones into toilets every day. For people who want waterproof, there are waterproof phones available. Some of our phones are very water resistant. We don't mention that because you need to get certain certifications to be IP compliant. But many of our phones, if you drop it into non-salty water, will survive just fine. But again, we don't think it's a global trend, and I think there will always be devices that are waterproof for those who want it. Do we think you need to make every phone waterproof? Absolutely not. The market is not there for that. And it makes the phone heavier, it makes the phone a little bit bulkier. We think people are willing to be a little bit more careful for that extra lightness and portability.
And is a fingerprint sensor on a phone a global,
Again, I think sensors and security measures are different. It should be different for different phones. I don't think there should be one method for every phone. If people like fingerprint, there are many fingerprint enabled phones out there. If people don't care for fingerprints, then there should be options for them as well. I don't think LG should, nor does LG believe that it should be one size fits all. Our whole philosophy with devices has been about making more products so that there's more choices for consumers. And we don't believe it's a one size fits all industry.
And if you're talking about some mobile payment methods like Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, fingerprint sensors, there are great solutions. Google can use it right now. You have any plans on, making your own paying system?
Well, I can say, for a fact that we will have fingerprint capable phones in the very near future. The point is that do we need to make that a feature in every phone? Well, if you're looking at the pay system, maybe that's one reason to have it on every phone. But then again, who's to say that there isn't some other method that's actually better? So, for example, something like knock code, which we do include in most of our phones, is something that doesn't increase the cost of the phone. It's software, and we can include it because we think it's a useful feature whether you use it or not. With fingerprint, when you need to include the sensor, it increases the cost of the phone somewhat. We'll have to take a look at it. I think when it comes to payment, we'll see. I mean, I'm not convinced that there is one solution when it comes to pay for everyone. Right now, there are many options currently available. We are thinking about, of course, a payment system for LG branded devices, but as of right now, we don't have a decision.
Okay, one last question. We've been doing interviews for years. Maybe you have some of the guys in our forums were asking if you have plans to come to Hungary, talk with the fans. Will you do it in sometimes? Will you have some free time to do it?
It's a very very big world out there, and it's really interesting that Hungary of all, I mean, of all the countries in the world, the audience in Hungary seems very very tech savvy. So it's very attractive, obviously, to go to that part of the world, and I do plan to pass through one day. The scheduling, with 100, I don't know how many countries are there in the world, like 180 plus.
I don't know.
It's very hard to put them all on my schedule, but definitely, if I am in the area, I will definitely drop by.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Ken, for
Thank you,
having you
Shava.
here. Thanks for the
Thanks
answers.
for coming.